Hello everybody and welcome to Module 2. In this module, we are going to be focusing all about efficiency. And in this lesson, we're going to get started with Google Docs. If you've ever used Google Docs and wondered, is there an easier way? Then this lesson is for you. I'm going to share with you my top 10 Google Docs efficiency tips that will hopefully save you time, clicks, and mental energy. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is image formatting. This is one of those things that I hear teachers get the most frustrated with when it comes to Google Docs. They know how to put in an image, but they can't figure out how to make it work so it doesn't affect their overall formatting. So let's take care of that right now. First, I'm going to show you how to insert an image from Google Docs. You're going to go to Image, and then you're going to go to Search the Web. It's going to populate an area over here that says Search in Google Images, and you're going to type in your image. For this lesson, I'm going to type in cat. You're going to choose which cat image you want. I'm going to choose this one. And now this image is really big. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it. Okay. Now you're going to notice that I really can't move this freely. If I try to move it, it just messes up my formatting. It goes in the middle of my words. It just does not look good. Let's take care of that. Down here at the bottom, these little symbols represent how your image is going to interact with the text. This means in line, so it's literally going to go in line with your text. This means wrap text. Many people like to use this. It's where the text is going to wrap around the image. My personal favorite to use is behind or in front of text. If you use in front of text, it covers up your words. If you use behind, your words can go on top. This could be especially useful if you are making an image and you want to add a caption. So I'm going to shrink my cat down, and now I can position it anywhere I want on the page. To make sure that it allows it to continue to position, I'm going to go down here and select Fix Position on Page. This means that now, no matter what, the text is not going to move and it's not going to affect my image. Okay, now let's talk about how to do a screenshot. So if you are having a conference and you want to show specific data on a student, you're going to want to use a screenshot. So what I'm going to do is go to my iReady tab that I have open here. And let's say that I want this data right here. On my keyboard, I'm going to push Windows Shift S. This is the snipping tool. On a Mac, it is Command Shift 4. You are going to take this cursor and you're going to select what it is you want. Now that you've done that, that is copied to your clipboard. You're going to see this little pop-up over here. It lets you know that it's copied. You could exit out of that. And now you could just push Control V. That's that paste shortcut we learned in the Foundations module. Now over here, I want to be able to move this. So again, I'm going to change it to in front of text, and I'm going to change it to Fixed Position on Page. So now I can move this image anywhere I want to. Okay, so that was tip number 1, image formatting. Let's go ahead and move into tip number 2, inserting drawings. Many teachers don't even know that this exists, and I'm really excited to show it to you because I think it's going to save you a lot of time when you're trying to match pieces together to create something. So let me show you. You're going to go to Insert, Drawing, New. It's going to give you this blank canvas page. This is going to allow you to put words with images and call out signs. So let's say again that I want a picture of a cat. I'm going to go to Google Images and I'm going to type in cat. And let's say I want this cat. Okay, I'm going to re-shrink. There we go. And now I am going to do some call outs. So these call outs right here allow me to have it like the cat is talking. So I'm going to drag this little piece here down to the cat's mouth so it looks like the cat is speaking. Now I'm going to grab my text here and I'm going to make it say something like, do this right now. Make my font how I want it. I want Happy Monkey. I want size 18. And now when I click Save and Close, this whole thing is going to save as one image. So again, you can go down here to change it so you can move it anywhere you want to. And you could just put it on your page how you would like. And if you don't like this, you want to change it, you say, oh, actually, I don't want it to say that. You double click the image and it brings you right back to it and you can customize each piece individually. Okay, tip number 3, adding and customizing tables. When you want to make your data look organized, you can use tables. Once again, you're going to click your Insert tab, and this time you're going to toggle over to Table. You're going to come over here and select how many columns you would like and how many rows. Let's say 2 rows, 2 columns. And it's going to populate this table for you. Now you can go ahead and type in to make your headers. So I'm going to make this girls. I'm going to make this boys. If I wanted to add an additional column, I would push right, and then I would push Insert column to the right or to the left. And if I wanted to add a row, I would push right again, Insert row above or below. I could also drag these lines and I could change the size of my columns and my rows. If you wanted everything to go back to even, you would right click again and you would click Distribute Rows and Distribute Columns. If you wanted this whole thing to be together as one, so you can make this a title, you're going to select all 3 cells, right click and select Merge Cells, and now it is 1. Okay, if you wanted to unmerge them, just go ahead and click Unmerge. I'm going to go ahead and delete these real quick. So I'm back to my 2x2, and I want to show you how I can use something called Paint Format to help me with my tables and even with text in general. So let's say that I want to spend a good amount of time working on this header here. I want it to look nice and beautiful. I'm going to have it be Poppins. I'm going to put it Poppins black. And now my header looks like this. This is where tip number 4 comes into play. It's called Format Painter. If I want all of my headings to look like this, I could go through and select them and go back and change everything like I did up here. Or I could use Format Painter. That's this little paint roller here. I select it. First, I select the text that I want to copy. Then I select the paintbrush. And then I just click and highlight over those headers. And now they match my formatting exactly. If I want to do it again, I put the paintbrush again, click and highlight. If I wanted the whole thing to be like that, I would just click and highlight everything like this. And now it all has that. Okay, let's talk about tip number 5, inserting charts. Okay, there is a quick and efficient way to put charts in your Google Docs. So let's say you are having to reflect on your data about your students' FAST results, and you wanted to reflect on that using a chart. You are going to go to Insert, and you are going to scroll down to where it says Chart. You have an option to select which one you like. Personally, I like pie. And it's going to give you a chart here. And you're going to look at this and might be a little confused because it looks like you can't edit anything. Here's how you fix that. You're going to click right here where it says these ... and you're going to click Open Source. This is going to bring you to a Sheets spreadsheet, which we're going to get into Sheets more in a later video, but let's just keep it real basic. Here you're going to be able to change what these headings are. So if you were doing FAST, you could change it to level 1 through 5, and you could change this number. Maybe that's how many students scored each level. Then you can even take it a step farther, click these ... and click Edit Chart. Now you're going to click Customize, and you can customize your chart style, your pie chart, but this is what I like to customize, is the pie slice. You can go and change the pie color for each individual one. So if you're like me, and you like to color code, you can make your level 1s red all the way up to your level 5s purple. So let me show you an example real quick of what I did so you could see. Here's some fictional FAST data, and I plugged it in, and you can kind of just see a quick color coordinated view of all of the FAST levels. Okay, let's move on to tip number 6. This is talk to text, and it's honestly one of my favorite tips because I get a little bit overwhelmed having to type so much. And this is just one of those quick ways that you're able to get your words onto that screen faster. So what you're going to do is you are going to select Tools, and you are going to come down here to where it says Voice Typing. The shortcut for that is Control-Shift-S. And now you have this microphone here. This microphone is going to copy exactly what you say. If you say period, it will put a period. If you say new line, it will skip a place and put a new line. And if you say new paragraph, it will drop and create a new paragraph. So I'll show you. For each one of these, you're going to want to make sure that you push that record button. So if you say new line, it's going to stop recording and you're just going to have to push it again. So here we go. This is an example of me using voice typing, period. New line. This is an example of me using a new line, period. New paragraph. And this is an example of me using a new paragraph, period. So you can see it's quite handy, keeps it from having to type all the time. One of my favorite tools. Another one I like to use is tip number 7, which is substitution. Again, this is one of those things that saves you from having to type so much. You are going to go to Tools, and you are going to scroll down to where it says Preferences. You're going to scroll to that second column that says Substitutions. You're going to notice that Google Docs already has quite a few substitutions in here. Things like fractions, and even arrows, and even commonly misspelled words. I went ahead and added these two in myself. So here is where you put the code, and this is where you put what you want it to actually type. So I put TSW, and whenever I write TSW, the computer will actually type the student will. And then this is where I want to show you how helpful this can be when it comes to your lesson plans. This is the benchmark for theme for ELA 4.R.1.2. So I put the shortcut in as R.1.2, and whenever I type that now, it's going to give me that entire benchmark. So let me show you. R.1.2. And then there's my benchmark right there. I'll also show you TSW. If you start it with a capital letter, it will actually put it in capital for you. Okay, so tip 7, substitutions. Let's move into tip number 8, templates. This is one of those things that you probably have seen before. I just want to direct your attention to how helpful they are. So for you to get to templates, you are going to go to your Google Drive, and then you're going to select this waffle icon, the Google Apps, and here you're going to select Docs. Now it is going to show you a whole gallery of templates. To see more, you're going to push this button here to expand it. But you could see templates for essays, reports, notes, lesson plans, even newsletters. So that could definitely save you from having to reinvent the wheel in that area. Okay, let's go on to tip number 9, which is creating an outline. This tip is especially useful if you are writing long, lengthy documents. Maybe it's your lesson plan and you want to be able to pinpoint exactly where to go. In order for this tip to work, you have to use headings. So you can see all of these words here are coded as a heading. Now, because I have this, I'll show you what I can do. Let me first of all get rid of my voice typing. You are going to go to View, and then you are going to go to Expand Tabs and Outlines sidebar. Now you see this whole area over here. I can select each heading and it brings me straight to it in the document. So if this were a lesson plan and you were trying to find maybe the materials or maybe the assessment piece, you could just click these and it brings you directly to that area. Okay, my last tip for you, tip number 10. This is default style. So this is especially helpful if you have a set font size, everything like that that you typically like to use. This is where you're going to find this handy. First things first is I'm going to set up what my title looks like. So I'm going to write title. And I'm going to choose, how do I want a title to look? Well, I want a title to be big, so probably 50 font. I really like Montserrat Black. Ooh, that's nice and big. And I want it to be blue. So now because I did that, I'm going to have to set it. So you're going to come over here where it says normal text, go to title, and you are going to put right here, update title to match. So now if you come back to my top where I had a title, you'll see it automatically changed it to this new title. It looks like that color and everything. I can continue to change other things, like I can change what my headings look like. Maybe for headings, I want a size 30. I want Montserrat Bold. And I want the color purple this time. So again, I go here. I want to change my heading, so I'm going to put update heading to match. Now all my headings are going to look like this. I could do the same thing with subtitles and even normal text, so it is the same font and size every time you type and you don't have to change it. If you like this font and you want to use it every single time you do a document, you're going to go to options and you're going to click save as my default styles. And that means that any new Google document you open will have this default style ready to go for you. Okay guys, that wraps it up. That is my top 10 Google Docs efficiency tips. I really hope you find these useful. Go ahead and check out my Thompson tips on the next slide, and then I would love it if you give some of these a try yourself. See you in the next video, and you're well on your way to being a Google Master.